Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, good morning. So here I want to tell you about how to speak English fluently. But before that, I would like to introduce myself first. My name is Maulana Anwar Siddiq. So here we go. As long as we know that English is an international language, that means English is used in many countries from all over the world. And then in terms of speaking for general purposes, English has three functions. For the first function is for the information, and then the second is for the persuasion, and the third is for the entertainment. Alright, now I'm going to tell you about how to speak English fluently based on 5 steps that I will deliver to you. The first one is practice your conversation. The one thing that you absolutely have to do to speak English fluently is getting more conversation practiced or speaking practiced. The more you talk, the more you understand the language. The second one is work on your pronunciation. Okay, we all need to be understood, and pronunciation practice helps us to speak with clarity. If we understand the pronunciation, if we learn about the pronunciation, we will speak and we will deliver our language in clearly. Here's the thing, if your native language sounds very different from English, then you will need to pay attention to move your mouth and tongue in a new way. Alright, in terms of articulation, you know that there are many English sounds that don't exist in our native language as an Indonesian. For examples, oo or maybe a. In Indonesia, we just only have u and a. So we have to pay more attention to our mouth and tongue to move in a different way. Okay, point number 3. Listen to others as much as you speak. Well, we know that there is a main problem that Indonesians have, like people can't really understand when someone reply back to them when having a conversation. So the solution is exposing yourself to as many songs, series, documentaries, accents, and conversations. In this case, it will help you to understand how English is spoken by different people in different countries. Okay, point number 4. Avoid learning word by word. Think of all the ideas, not only translating some words into your native language, but also trying to understand English as your main language. So, you don't need to translate words by words in communicating in English, because there are some phrases or expressions that we need to know how to use it. I know that we are tired of remembering or memorizing list of verbs, nouns, adjective, adverbs. So we have to memorize the phrase, the clause, the expressions to speak better. And then the point number 5, this is the last point from me. Don't focus too much on English grammar. We know that native speakers disobey the rules of their own language all of the time when they are speaking. I think this is the key of how they manage their self of having a conversation. And then they should be lower down your list of priorities than getting English speaking practice. We know that grammar is important. Grammar rules is an essential point in English, but at some point, for example, speaking or just a daily conversation, we don't need to focus on grammar because we just follow the patterns of expressions and then clauses that we use to give our sentence. If we put too much attention to grammar rules, we will confused and we will not be confident to speak in English. So, in this case, you don't have to memorize all of the grammar rules because all you have to do is just speak. After getting a little bit of word, grammatical rules will start to sink in naturally. That's why you have to learn about expressions, not the grammar rules, because you will be able to express something without considering how the grammar is. Like, is it a grammatically error or not? For example, if you want to say, saya mau makan in English, you gotta say, I want to eat. Okay, if you translate it words by words, saya means I, mau in English is want, and makan in English is eat. But we have to put to before it. So if you learn about the expressions, you will understand how to say it in English, like I want to eat, without actually focusing too much on grammatical rules. So I have a quote from Fred Miller. He's an American football player. I found it on internet. The worst speech you'll ever give will be far better than the one you never give. That means don't be afraid to try to speak in English. Thank you very much for your nice attention and see you on the next project.